So the much anticipated PS5 Pro has just launched, and to be honest, the response from both fans and critics has been pretty mixed. Let's blast through 25 of the key observations, thoughts and tips, including the top 10 tips in setting up the PS5 Pro, a look at 7 of the key games including Black Ops 6, the level that made me realise if I made the right decision in getting the Pro, and I guarantee that by the end of this video that you will know whether you should upgrade to the PS5 Pro. So the first key observation is how nice the black box packaging of the PS5 Pro is compared to the white of the original PS5 console, with Sony touting its PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution upscaling technology and also highlighting the Pro's advanced ray tracing that we'll come on to very shortly. At 2 and linked to the packaging is how Sony have plastered all over the box that yes, this is a disc-free console, which for gamers like myself who have 100% of their games digitally, then this is perfect. But I totally understand for quite a few others like our great viewer Abdul David, who owns a lot of PS5 physical games, that this is a deal breaker, especially when the optional disc drive is like £100 in dollars and is super hard to come by, thanks to scalpers selling them at ridiculous prices. Key observation 3 is what we get in the box, which is a power cable, the horizontal stand brackets, so don't lose these whatever we do, a 2.1 HDMI cable exactly like the original PS5, the manual, and also a USB-C to USB-C cable to charge controllers. At 4, what I was really surprised at is just how noticeably light the PS5 Pro console actually is. Key point 5 is unwrapping the Pro for the first time, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. This really does look like a premium piece of kit. A link to this at 6 is, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love these new black air cooling fins that break up the white matte exterior. Let us know your thoughts on this design choice below in the comments. Key observation 7 is a negative one in that there is no vertical stand in the box, which even this OG PS5 console shipped with. And this is fine with gamers like me who plan to use their PS5 Pro horizontally in their TV units, but again this will be an annoyance to those who really want to use it vertically and will have to purchase the optional vertical stand for £25 in dollars, which doesn't make this feel like a Pro product. At 8 is that putting on these clear plastic horizontal stand brackets is quite a fiddly process. We flip the PS5 upside down and the left one goes inwards in its slot, the right one slots in with the slant facing towards the middle too, and as we can see here the USB ports should be on the right by them. And when the Pro is flipped over in the correct position, these do a pretty good job of keeping the console very steady. At 9 is that they get one white PS5 DuelSense controller included, and I know this is wishful thinking, but I really wish Sony would have included the much more premium dual edge controller to match the PS5 Pro package. But yeah, this is totally wishful thinking on my part. Key observation 10 was surprising in how it compared size-wise to the original PS5 console, and that when it's laid down side by side, they both looked pretty similar size-wise. However, it's when we place them standing up side by side that we really notice that the OG PS5 dwarfs the Pro. Now it seems massive compared to the much sleeker Pro console, making it look much less clunky, which is very welcome. At 11 is I love how Sony have really paid attention to the small finite details, as the inside casing of the Pro are the iconic PlayStation squares and triangles, which is a very nice touch. Observation point 12 are the ports, and on the back the power cable inlet is in the same place, but the layout of the HDMI port, Ethernet cable and 2 USB-A ports have completely changed compared to the original PS5 console. And on the front is a big change too, as now on the Pro we get 2 USB-C ports compared to just one USB-C and also one USB-A port compared to the original PS5. At 13 is a negative one too, in the fact that PS5 Slim removable covers do not fit on the Pro console, which I don't own any of these, but I'm sure this will be another annoyance to some, particularly as looking on the PS5 official website and we can't even buy any different coloured PS5 Pro specific covers. Come on Sony, sort it out. At 14 is that the plug of the original PS5 does look a bit different compared to this textured new one that comes with the PS5 Pro. I was just going to use my old cable, but I think we'd better use the new one just to be on the safe side. With the PS5 Pro all unwrapped and plugged in looking sweet, let's now look at transferring all of our data and setting up, and the most important part in playing some games. So switching on the Pro, and key observation 15 is that we do need to plug in our controller using a wire for it to be recognised that is needed. It's the usual setup process like setting the display area and HDR. I'd recommend the optimised experience so we get updates and charge controllers in sleep mode. Downloading the system update and also the DuelSense update too, then simply signing in using the QR code. At 16, let's talk transferring data. Now we can do this from our old PS5 console, but I just press skip and finish. Would have been really nice to have had a PS5 Pro logo instead of the generic PlayStation 5 one. Then I just simply went into your collection area and started downloading all of our PS5 Pro enhanced games I own to really test out the console, which I found to be much easier than having to transfer all my stuff across. I have my PS5 Pro connected via Ethernet to my router, which I highly recommend, but a great bonus is that the PS5 Pro now has the new and much faster Wi-Fi 7 protocol in the router that supports it. At 17 is one of the biggest reasons I upgraded, and that is the much bigger 2TB SSD storage with 1.89TB actually available. And this is so nice as I kept running out of space frequently on the 667GB available space on my old PS5. At 18, let's change 10 setup options. First, in user and accounts and login settings, set login to PS5 automatically to on. Second, in system and HDMI, set enable one-touch play to on. Third, in date and time, I prefer a 12-hour clock. Fourth, make sure we enable remote play. Fifth is in screen and video. In the video output section, you can turn the enhance image quality for PS4 games option to on, which is strangely off by default for some reason, to boost our PS4 games on the PS5 Pro. The sixth is in sound and audio output. If we're using a soundbar like I am, then select this in the HDMI device type. Seventh is turning home screen music off, but this is personal preference to you. Eighth is that if you do have a Dolby Atmos soundbar, then select this in the audio format. Ninth is in volume. I like putting the controller speaker all the way to the max because awesome games like Astrobot really do take advantage of the controller's speakers. And finally at 10 is doing the personalized 3D audio profile if we use headphones to get a much more accurate spatial audio. So let's now test out some games, and key observation 19 is The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, and upon launch it asks us if we want Pro Rendering Mode, which is 60fps at 4K with PSSR, so of course I said yes. We're fortunate to have a 65-inch LG C3 TV, so you can see here with my 4K camera positioned at roughly where I sit playing games, and wow, the cutscenes just look incredible. However, it was this iconic opening sequence on horseback where the sheer clarity of the grass bristling in the wind, together with the branches on the trees, then overlooking the town, and then wading through the stream and by the gas station, that made me realise I've never seen this game look so gorgeous, with even the dust on Joel's guitar looking great. Regular viewers to the channel know that The Last of Us Part 2 is my absolute favourite game. I think it's because having a daughter similar to Ellie's age and the fact I play guitar means I just relate and connect to this so deeply. And going through this greenhouse area was breathtaking in the level of detail that the PS5 Pro offers us, along with the snowy setting of Jacksonville. We're on key observation 20, and next is Last of Us Part 1. Again, I love how it offers us straight away this Pro mode option, and things that really stuck out to me was the clarity of the danky carpet pattern, including being able to see the stitching, which is insane. Later on in the game, seeing the sunlight bursting from the windows onto the reflective floor, whilst having that silky smooth 60 FPS was just incredible in the banquet hall, and the detail of dirt and the huge skyscraper towering over us. FC25 is a game that's on the official PS5 Pro Enhanced list. Although it didn't pop up with any kind of graphics options like Last of Us, I did try looking in the visual settings for any kind of PS5 Pro optimized options but couldn't find any. And while I think that the game did look a little bit clearer, games like this that don't make it obvious to us with a pop-up message stating exactly how the PS5 Pro benefits the game aren't as successful, I don't think. Alan Wake 2 was next, and I set the game mode and graphics options to performance, and oh my goodness, this game is stunning on the PS5 Pro. The neon yellowish green hues bouncing off the ground in alleyways, and the main city block just looking jaw-dropping. The red lettering reflecting off the rain-soaked ground, and all this at that 60 FPS sweet spot. And if you have or are thinking of getting a PS5 Pro, then Alan Wake 2 is one of the games that you absolutely must play first. It's an incredible showcase for what the PS5 Pro can do. In Spider-Man 2, I set the graphics to Performance Pro and wow, just swinging around the city with a personal favourite or running the upside of buildings as they reflect the hustle and bustle of the surroundings, all at 60 FPS was unreal. Again, this is another one of the first games to play on our PS5 Pro. Coming into our final 2 games now, and of course I had to test out the game I'm currently addicted to, which is Black Ops 6. Here in multiplayer, the Venice level especially, where all the environment was reflected beautifully off the water, and most importantly at 60 FPS. It just adds a level of immersion to our games which helps us to escape reality and into the game world that we're sucked into. And finally, it was this early level in the fantastic Resident Evil Village that made me so glad that I got the PS5 Pro. I was literally gobsmacked at just how the incredible reflections permeated the water to add to the eeriness of this cellar environment, and I purposely legged it around super fast with the FPS remaining absolutely rock solid. So should you upgrade to the PS5 Pro? Well, if you answer yes to the following 5 questions, then absolutely, which are: number 1, are you more than a casual gamer and so you play for a couple of hours every day on your PS5? Number 2, do you really care about having 4K resolution at a silky smooth 60 FPS? Number 3, do you want to play a lot of the games that are on the PS5 Pro Enhanced list? Number 4, do you have the budget for it? At $699 it is pretty steep. And finally at 5 is that do you have a good setup to take advantage of the PS5 Pro, like a 55 or preferably a 65-inch or larger 4K TV? Well, if you've answered yes to all of these, then I think that you'll absolutely love the PS5 Pro and you will not be disappointed. And let's not forget that getting the PS5 Pro will be the ultimate experience in playing one of the most anticipated games of the decade in just a few months' time, GTA 6. If you've got a PS5 Pro, then let us know in the comments how you're finding it. If you're thinking of getting it, then let us know that too. Like if you found this helpful, subscribe if you're new here. And as a thank you for watching this far, I'd love to share this awesome quote. We overthink happiness. Keep it simple. There is something good in every moment. Find it and keep your focus there. It's so easy to dwell on the negatives in life, but if we stay grateful and thankful for the good things, then I really do believe that that's the secret to be happy and content. So stay encouraged today, guys. And if you want the best settings for Black Ops 6 on your Ally or indeed any Windows gaming handheld, then click here. I appreciate every single one of you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.